Hi, everybody. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel, and we thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with us. And we are on a preparation day. And what does that mean, Kate?
That means that today you are going to prepare for Shabbat. You're going to get everything dealt with today. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're working. Anything that you need to get done so that you can have a restful day tomorrow, so you can get your mind correctly in line with Yah, that you can be, He can be on your mind and not the rest of the worldly things that you have to deal with on your day-to-day basis.
Yep. And so we are heading into that day, and we are trying to get this day rolling. Tomorrow is a Shabbat. Eli, what does that mean?
It means that tomorrow we do absolutely nothing tomorrow. We rest and we spend our day with Yah.
Wow, your voice is cracking. Are you all right? You sound like you're almost about to cry. Are you okay?
I'm good.
You good? Okay, everyone all good here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's cheer up here. We can get through this, I am sure. And so let us continue on with this. So tomorrow we are not going to be doing anything. We have a live Shabbat service tomorrow, and
It's 11 a.m. Eastern time.
it's 11 a.m. Eastern time is where we will be here, and we will attempt to stream this live, and we will be on the Yahuwah and the Torah 2 channel. And I keep saying every time that we will get this scheduled early in the morning for the next day, but we never ever do it until like 5 minutes before Shabbat. And so I won't say that you guys could check the schedule out, because we just can't get it together as a family. Hopefully we will. You'll see it scheduled when it is scheduled. Okay, what is the haps today, boys?
Well,
Basically, us preparing and getting ready for tomorrow.
Yep, it is month 9 on our Creator's calendar. It is the 6th day of this week. It is the 8th day of this month on our Creator's calendar, and on the Gregorian Babylonian calendar, it is the December 2nd. And I guess that is it. I don't have a ton of stuff to go on here.
no comments, no anything.
I had some comments from Brother Glenn, but the problem with our comments are they're spread out over across like 5 channels now. I can't find anything anymore because of the way the Hallelujah Scriptures grifters got us, and we're basically on the run from the Hallelujah Scriptures. We are just all over the place, and so comments are really hard. But we did have some good ones from Brother Glenn yesterday. One thing I would like to bring up, actually, it was the day before. Brother Glenn, he said that the name God was not pagan. Because we had discussed that the name God was pagan, and I thought we should probably discuss this a little bit, because we don't use the name God. We used to, but then we found out that it was a Sir title. What do we know of it being pagan or not pagan, or right or wrong? Anyone? Eli?
Well, we know it's wrong. We know that because that's not his name, right? He's not going to respond if you were to call him, "Hey Bob," and you're Bob in heaven, right? That's not his name. His name is Yahuwah. He told Moses what his name was, and it's a form of respect, right? When you call someone by their name, you're showing them respect. Because if you just call them God, it's like, "Hey, Mister." It's like, "Hey, sir." It's not his name, and he says that we will know his name. That's one of his things, is they will know my name.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we know it begins with Yah, and the end of it could be, I don't know if anyone knows it, but we know him as Yahuwah, Yahweh,
I've seen a lot of Yahavah or something like that, like where it's a V. People,
right,
because
Yehovah.
People don't know if it's the Yod-He Vav-He or it's Yah-He-Wah-He. So there's a little bit of contention between the W and the V sound in the middle there.
Yeah, and like the Jehovah's Witnesses start with a J, but there were no J's in Hebrew, so it would be Yahovah Witnesses, if that's really how they wanted to do. But again, that is yet another religion of people that do not keep the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator. So do we know of God as being pagan, or is it just that we shouldn't be using this?
We probably shouldn't use it because it's not his name. I don't think we know directly pagan. We know Lord and Jesus are pagan.
Yep, Lord, and that's the capital. When they have like a Lord that's lowercase, that actually translates in Hebrew to Baal, the deity, essentially like Nimrod. I mean, it's one of these guys. I don't know if Baal is. Is that one name?
I feel like that's not Nimrod, but it might be.
Yeah, it's probably something they named after Nimrod.
We know there's 70 different names of Nimrod after the Tower of Babel. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's get into Luke 12 and see what we have going on. Okay, meanwhile, when an innumerable crowd of people had gathered together so that they trampled one another, he began to say to his Talmudian, "First, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy." Okay, and we've talked about this before. Eli, what is leaven?
It is the sin of the Pharisees, like their traditions and all that.
What is leaven in your kitchen cooking?
It is a rising agent. It makes like the dough rise.
Yeah, it's a dough. It's something that does that. And so, if he's saying that the beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, what is he exactly saying?
He's saying
beware of the sin, beware of their things that their little rising agent that they put in their work and their words that causes the thing to rise, which is wrong.
Right, and how we make bread is the leavening agent. Without it, you would have stone bread. It would just be very hard. It would be no leaven added at all, and it would be like matzah. And so, if people are considered like flour, and we can throw a little bit of leaven into them, if the leaven is good, like it has the Torah, it has the faith of Messiah Yahushua, that bread is going to be good. But when he's talking about the leaven of the Pharisees, bad leaven can do very bad things to you. So let's continue on. And whatever is concealed shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be known. I would like to take this opportunity to bring the Hallelujah Scriptures to light, because this is very interesting that we read out of their old copy, and the Hallelujah Scriptures no longer has the ability to. They were irresponsible with the word of Yah. And Yah has taken that out of their hands, and he has delivered that to people, and people are downloading that. We had yesterday another 14 or 15 downloads of the scriptures, and so every single day we're getting at least that many. And so it is very, very good that people are downloading this now, and we don't have to have a printing press. We don't have to rip people off. We don't have to take their donations. We don't have to stomp them. We don't have to hoard the word of Yah. They can simply click on a PDF and download it, and they can read it at their leisure. In fact, you can read any of the books that they have, and the rest of their books are coming very, very soon. But it's very interesting that Messiah Yahushua says, whatever is concealed shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be known. Let's continue on. So whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have spoken in the ear in inner rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops. And again, this is the Hallelujah Scriptures chapter here, right? This is what they did. They had 13 years of being very, very evil, that they've done enormous amounts of evil in the dark rooms, and they spoke it. And now it's all coming to the light. All of the people that they attacked, all of the families they left destitute, all of this stolen money and stolen gold and stolen houses and all of that stuff, it's now being proclaimed on the housetops. Everybody who has an ear to hear and an eye to see is now been informed, and we will continue on. Verse 4. But I say to you, my friends, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, and after that are unable to do any more. Okay, what is he saying with that, guys? Come on. What do we have?
He's saying that you do not fear the people, or you should not fear being persecuted for the word.
But he says don't fear man. Do not fear a single man, because all they can do is they can kill you, and that's the end of it. That's the very best they can do.
And the problem is, and the reason that 2019 was so successful in tricking the entire world, is that everybody wants to stay alive. Everyone's like, oh, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to die. I don't want to do all this stuff. Let's come on, let's do this, right? And then they go and they do what a government organization says, and now they're all dying. And so
we shouldn't be afraid to die, because if you are following Torah, you shouldn't be afraid to die, because you know it's going to happen to you. But if you're not following Torah, you should absolutely be afraid, because you will end up in Gehenna.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't. I mean, that's the thing about people that are in the Torah. You don't need to preserve your life. From dust we came, from dust we will go. We will end up in a grave. We will be dead. This physical body is going to disappear. It doesn't matter. The Satanists will try to drink the blood of the young to try to stay alive forever. It doesn't matter how long they do that. Eventually, their old decrepit bodies will die. We are going to die. Embrace it. Embrace the life. Embrace the journey that we have right now. And if we are doing everything for every last moment of our day, and the problem is, if you are not living your life to the fullest, that you can live it, then you will live on your deathbed wishing that you had a better life, or wishing that you had done stuff better. And there's many, many people on their deathbed that they said, I wish I would have spent more time with my family. I wish I would have had more time. I wish I had more time with my kids. Things of that nature. Don't have those regrets. Spend that time with your family now. Spend that time with your kids right now. Verse 5. But I shall show you whom you should fear. Fear the one who, after killing, possesses authority to cast into Gehenna. Yes, I say to you, fear him. Who is him?
That's Yahuwah.
Yeah.
Yahuwah has the power to say, depart from me.
Yep. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins? And not one of them is forgotten before Elohim. And before we go on that, it is Yahuwah that says, depart from me, but you quoted Messiah Yahushua when he says, depart from me.
Yeah, it's just a saying, like, he will say, leave. Yahuwah will say, leave my presence.
If his dad, father, Yah, doesn't want you in the kingdom, you're not going to make it to the kingdom. And so it's the power of both of them. Our judge and jury is in the hands of our Messiah and our Elohim Most High. Okay, are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins, and not one of them is forgotten before Elohim? But even the hairs of your head have all been numbered. Do not fear. You are worth more than many sparrows. Eli, how many hairs do you have on your head?
Unknown.
Unknown? Jade, you got any ideas?
We can't count.
How many hairs do you have on your face?
4.
Is there a lot?
4.
You got 4? You got more than 4? Eli, how many hairs do you have on your face?
Do you count peach fuzz?
No.
We'll have to if you wanna sound manly here.
Maybe about 100.
Okay, there you go. All right. So you guys don't even know how many hairs you have on your head, but your Creator does. Okay. 8. And I say to you, everyone who confesses me before men, the bin of Adam, shall also confess him before the messengers of Elohim. But he that has denied me before men shall be denied before the messengers of Elohim. Here's something we have not heard before, right? We've heard that he will be denied before his Creator, or for our Creator, but now he's going to be denied. He's denying us in front of the messengers. Why is that a big deal? What does that matter if the messengers are, I mean, what's going on here, folks?
Basically, we have the messengers who are going to be watching all this, because the Ben of Adam is basically going to pronounce the entire kingdom of heaven that this was my follower, this was my person.
Yeah.
He was my child, basically, and he followed me correctly.
Yeah, and can you imagine that, having a host of angels, and
It's like Yahushua introducing you to like a party of people. All right, everyone, here's my friend.
Here's my brother. This is my brother. How do I know you're my brother? Because you keep the laws of Yahushua and Yah. So you're keeping both of them. 10. And everyone who shall speak a word against the bin of Adam, it shall be forgiven him. But to him who has blasphemed against the Ruach HaKodesh, it shall not be forgiven. And when they bring you to the congregations and rulers and authorities, do not worry about how or what you should answer or what you should say. For the Ruach HaKodesh shall teach you in that very hour what you should say. Okay, so the Ruach HaKodesh is going to teach us what to say when we're in tribulation. Does this count just in the hour of tribulation, or does this count for everything?
I think this would count for everything, because there's different forms of tribulations. It doesn't have to be the tribulation we all are waiting for. We can have tribulations on a daily basis.
Yeah, if you're drugged before the people, seek the Creator and let the Ruach speak through you. Okay, and someone from the crowd said to him, Teacher, speak to my brother to divide the inheritance with me. But he said to him, Man, who made me a judge or divider over you? And he said to them, Mind and beware of greed, because one's life does not consist in the excess of his possessions. Okay? What's it say here, guys?
He says, basically the wealth you have, none of that matters. Your life is not valued based on how much your net worth is.
Yeah, you don't have a Shaimayim credit card and all this stuff you have here. It does not apply to that credit card. You are dead. You will become dust. Your skeleton will become feeble looking. Your hair will you're just dead. There's nothing to you. And you will not take anything with you, right? But it reminds me of, the joke I had as a kid. It's like, as an only child, now I lay me down to sleep, help my soul to keep, and help my toys to break so none of the other kids can play with them if I die. Something like that is how we used to say that. But we cannot take our goodness and our stuff with us, right? There's nothing we can take. It does not matter if we have 1 cent or if we have millions of dollars. When we die, none of that matters. 16. He then spoke to a parable to them, saying, The land of a certain rich man yielded well. And he was reasoning within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room to store my crops. And he said, I am going to do this. Pull down my storehouses and build greater, and store all my crops and my goods there. Then say to myself, Life, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and rejoice. But Elohim said to him, You mindless one, this night your life shall be demanded from you, and you shall owe what you have prepared. Okay, why is this guy wanting to tear down all his storehouses?
Because he has just so much that he can't fit it all. He wants to basically rip it down and rebuild bigger.
So is this saying don't expand, or what is this saying? Why is this story important?
Because basically, Yahuwah, this guy forgot Yahuwah. This guy forgot Yahuwah and what he was doing. And Yahuwah blessed him. Yahuwah was the reason he had what he had. And he basically was just like, my life's so good. I'm so rich. Life's going to be great for me. And that's what he said. And then he forgot Yah. And Yah's like, hey, you forgot me.
Yeah, and they have that saying, eat, drink, and be merry. For tomorrow we war, or for tomorrow we something. But, this guy was wanting to basically take all he had, crush it down, and then eat, drink, and rejoice. Basically, he didn't want to praise Yah. He didn't want to. There's nothing in there about keeping, sticking with Yah. 20. Actually, 21. 21. So is he who is storing up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Elohim? And he said to his Talmudian, for this reason I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you shall eat, nor about your body, what you shall put on. The life is more than the food, and the body is more than clothing. Look at the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouse nor granary, and Elohim feeds them. How much more valuable are you than the birds? Eli?
We're more valuable than the birds. He will provide us if anything that we really need.
Yeah, if he takes care of his birds, he's going to take care of you. 25. And which of you by worrying is able to add one pekos to his life's span? If then you aren't able to do the least, why do you worry about the rest? Look at the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And I say to you, even Shlomo in all his esteem was not dressed like one of these. And if Elohim so clothes the grass, which today exists in the field, and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, how much more you, O you, of little belief? And do not seek what you shall eat or what you shall drink, and do not keep worrying. For the Gentiles of the world seek all these, and your Father knows that you need these. But seek the reign of Elohim, and all these shall be added to you. What is he talking about? All these shall be added to you. What is added to you?
I think blessings and basically probably riches in the Shamayim.
Yeah, he's talking about eating and drinking. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about any of this, because if you seek the kingdom, then our Creator will make sure that you are totally provided for. But it's very important that we do seek the kingdom. 32. Do not fear, little flock, because your Father delights to give you the rain. Sell your possessions and give in kindness. Make yourselves purses which do not grow old, a treasure in the Shamayim that does not fail, where no thief comes near to nor moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall be also. Let your loins be girded and your lamps burning, and be like men waiting for their master when he shall return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they open to him immediately. Baruch are those servants whom the master, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly, I say to you that he shall gird himself and make them sit down to eat, and shall come and serve them. And if he comes in the second watch or in the third watch and finds them so, Baruch are those servants. And know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief comes, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. And you, then, be ready, for the Ben of Adam is coming at an hour you do not expect. All right, what are we saying here? Are we to expect a rapture? Are we to expect what are we waiting for here? What should we be waiting for on this?
Basically, his return. I don't think we're going to be taken away per se.
What are we supposed to be doing while we're waiting for this return?
We're supposed to be watching. We're supposed to be staying diligent in the Word.
Okay, and staying diligent in the Word means what, Eli?
Keeping the Torah.
Keeping the Torah, and it's about writing out your heart, your mind, your soul. You're not going to be expecting anyone if you're not reading the Torah, and then that's the thing is the Christians believe there's billions of Christians that believe there's a rapture, and this rapture is on its way, and this is, they'll quote stuff like this, and they'll eat their pig stuff, and they're like, well, it doesn't matter because all food is made clean, and we're going to get raptured, and it doesn't say like this.
They see all this stuff happening, like rapture's coming, we're all going to go away very soon, just keep waiting. It's going to be very disappointing when they realize that they're going to have to go through tribulation like the rest of the world.
Yeah, absolutely go through tribulation. And the problem is, most of these people are not ready for tribulation because they believe the rapture is going to come save them. And so many of them will squander everything they have. They will not prepare. They will not be like Joseph. And, we know there's an orchestrated famine on the way. We know there's food that's going to be very hard to get in the near future. And we have an opportunity still. A lot of us can still buy lentils and things of this nature. And we should be doing this because if a famine does come and we do not have food, but we were given years and years to prepare, then that is the miracle that we were seeking. We shouldn't be seeking a miracle if we did not plan. If we had the ability to plan and our Creator has given us the ability to stockpile, to do what we need to do, and we didn't, then you're going to have to seek another kind of miracle because the miracle you had before you rejected.
We learn a lot of Proverbs, like Solomon always told us to be like the ant and store up our food for winter or times of poverty.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that is where the Christians do not believe that. They don't think that you have to do that at all. Okay, 41. And Kipha said to him, Adonai, do you speak this parable to us or also to all? And the Adon said, Who then is the trustworthy and wise manager, whom his master shall appoint over his household, to give the portion of food in due season? Baruch is that servant, whom his master shall find so doing when he comes. Truly, I say to you, that he shall appoint him over all his possessions. But if that servant says in his heart, My master is delaying his coming, and begins to beat the male servants and female servants, and to eat and drink and be drunk, the master of that servant shall come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour that he does not know, and shall cut him in two and appoint his portion with the unbelievers. And that servant, who knew his master's desire and did not prepare, nor did according to his desire, shall be beaten much. Okay? What are we talking about here? Did Messiah Yahushua just say he's going to beat us?
I think
dad's going to beat us?
it's more metaphorical. It's like when he comes back, and you only have one shot for this. When he comes back, and you're not in Torah, you're not doing the commands, you are being a worldly person, you basically all will be judged, and then you get sent away into a everlasting fire.
What would you call getting pelted with like fire and brimstone and worms eating you?
A beating.
A beating. Yeah, so that is the beating. And it says, that's the thing we don't want to. That's the one thing we don't want to do is be beaten by our Creator in that terms, right? Hopefully he only gives us 39 lashings, but the lashings from Yah could be incredible. So, what are we to make by this? He clearly says that people need to be ready. He clearly says that if you aren't ready, you're going to get flogged. You're going to get beaten, right?
Right. If you weren't prepared for the master's return, then
you're prepared to get beaten. Okay, 48. But he who did not know, yet did what deserved flogging, shall be beaten with few. And everyone to whom much is given, from him much shall be demanded, and to whom much has been entrusted, from him much more shall be asked. Okay, this is kind of good news. This is something that I guess if we don't have everything figured out all the way, we're going to get beat less, right? Because this right here, this could very well be to some of the Christians. They've been given a book all their life. Nobody has ever read the book. But they say they know, but they don't know. But he says right here, but to he who did not know, yet did what deserved flogging, shall be beaten with few. So that's kind of good news, I guess. If we didn't know and we still were bad, we're going to get beat, but not as beaten as much as those who knew and didn't do. 49. I came to send fire on the earth, and how I prefer it, it were already kindled. Okay, what does that verse mean? I came to send fire on the earth, and how I prefer it were already kindled.
So basically he says he doesn't want to start the fire, but he has to start the fire.
Yeah, the fire has to come, right?
I wish it's already started and I could just add to it, but it's like I had to start this fire.
Yeah, and he clarifies it in the next verse, 50. But I have an immersion to be immersed with, and how distressed I am until it is accomplished. Okay, so how many months here do we have before he is murdered?
Do we know if there's any...
Last chapter we were in, 2 chapters ago we were in Sukkot, right?
I
I believe so. But I don't know what time period is between this and there, because I mean, chapters could be years.
It could be, but a rough guesstimate here.
I think
how many chapters are in Luke?
There are
24. There's 24,
Still a
so
little bit to go.
yeah, so we're probably still a few months away from his murder. But this is something that our master said. He says he is distressed. He's distressed.
And that's where his human side comes
Yeah.
from. That's where, like, yeah, this is why he's human just like us. He has the powers from Yah. He has Yah's spirit, but he's human just like us. He gets worried about this thing, right? It's a scary thing to think you're going to be brutally killed,
Handed over to your dad's creations is what it is.
To the Gentiles.
To the Gentiles, yeah. And why did the Gentiles rage? And even though they're like, well, those guys were Jews. No, they're not Jews. Jews
Lawless.
Yeah, they're lawless. You are a Gentile. Regardless if you are a so-called Jew, you are still a Gentile. You are not keeping the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator. If you are not keeping the laws, statutes of our Creator only, then you're a Gentile. So every Jew sitting in Israel that wears your penguin suits and wears white tzitzits and has abortions over there, you're all Gentiles. That's what you are. Let's just be real about the whole thing. So, continue on. Do not think that I came to give peace on earth. I say to you, no, but rather division. For from now on, 5 in one house shall be divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Father shall be divided against son, and son against mother, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Does that say son against mother or son against father?
It says son against father. Did I say mother?
Yeah.
Okay, let me, so Nicole would know. And son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Okay, so I probably read that wrong. Anyone else catch up besides your mother?
No.
I was reading out the NIV, so it seemed right to mine.
Okay. 54. And he also said to the crowds, when you say a cloud rising out of the west, immediately you say, a storm is coming. And so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, you say, there shall be hot weather. And it is. Hypocrites, you know how to discern the face of the Shemaim and of the earth. But how is it you do not discern this time? And why? Also, do you not judge for yourselves what is right? For as you go with your opponent to a ruler, try hard along the way to settle with him, lest he drag you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and the officer throw you into prison. It sounds like a commandment.
It is.
59. For I say to you, you shall certainly not leave there until you have paid even the last coin. So this needs to go, Luke 12:58 needs to go under a commandment of Messiah Yahushua, because he says if you go, this is something we need to do. And do we have a command like this before? We do have a command.
I believe we did it from Matthew.
But we also have, what about in the Torah itself?
I think we're supposed to sell stuff with our neighbors like that.
Yeah. Okay. Nicole, you have it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, gentlemen, that is it. Our family out there, thank you guys very, very much for spending this time with us and with Yah and for reading into this. And I guess we do have one commandment found in this. I got to update that. So thank you guys very, very much. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time for our Shabbat reading, where we have a shindig, and you guys will have it. And we love to have you guys there.
All right.
Shalom.